Talk to me about closing care gaps. What are you seeing today?
Yeah, a move to FHIR. I think, I'm joking in part, but I think there's a few pathways, right? Data acquisition through other sources. Right now, and can we take a step back a little bit and talk about why all care gaps are not closed through claims, right? Because typically people think that you submit a claim, you're reimbursed for it, payers have the data. And there are specific quality measures within a value-based care contract where you need outcomes. I'm thinking about like A1C testing or BP results. There's a ton of them. Or perhaps the patient joins a plan after they've already had specific services done, and the look-back period is 4, 5, 6 years, right? So payers can request charts through HIM departments. They can join HIEs. They can receive supplemental data like they do from Providence and many other providers. All of that is proprietary to some extent, right? And unfortunately what happens then is you have data that perhaps wasn't as old, and so it hasn't been mapped accurately to be able to actually close the gap, right? Or data that's really difficult to acquire, and data that is being shared in proprietary formats that is difficult to parse, right? And so when I say the future is FHIR as it pertains to gap closure, it's because that data will not only be more liquid, it'll be more accurate, more discrete, and payers will be able to access data that they need, right? And providers as well will be more empowered to share information that is beneficial to their contracts. And then that feedback mechanism as well. When we talk about gaps in care, we oftentimes forget that payers are the arbiters, right? If they don't have the data, it doesn't matter if your dashboard says that you've done something. You're no longer doing outreach to the patient, but if payers don't have the results, then what? Then you see it on your bottom line, right? And that is so important if you have a contract that is quality gated. So your financial performance depends on a quality gate, meaning that you cannot access any benefit of the contractual agreement unless you meet specific quality criteria. And so creating that bi-directional loop of something is done, it's part of the contract, it goes back to the payer accurately, the gap is closed, and then the provider receives the feedback. And they can continue to focus on what they do best, which is providing the best possible care to patients.